Reach the eye.
Hello! How are you? How was your turkey day? I hope it was satisfying. Somebody asked me about Cellini. There's another name for this stitch. It's like a sculptural peyote. You get a twist in your work. Whoops. Like this. And it's really pretty. These are some other bracelets I made. You can change the pattern a great deal and come up with some amazing patterns. You can make the ribs real thick, you know, really pronounced, or not. You can make it real subtle. This one's a little more subtle, but it's still very pronounced. And it's done by adjusting the size of your beads as you work. I have a size 8 rounds. These are all rounds. Size 8s. These are 11 checks. And size 15s, all in different grains. You want to start with an uneven count of beads on your thread. I have 2 8s, 7 11s, and 6 15s. Make yourself a loop. Go through the beads again. Tie your loop. And I'll show you what else to do. This camera is getting ready to die. Battery's dying. Okay, I've tied my loop. I've rolled up a piece of cardstock to help hold my beadwork up until it gets to the size where I can remove it. I'm going to start the other way. Go through these 2 8s. The only thing you really need to remember about this stitch is odd count and pick up the same bead that your thread is coming out of. So I'm coming out of my 8. I need to pick up an 8, and just like regular peyote, tubular peyote, you're going to skip a bead and put your needle through the next bead. Let me zoom this in a little bit. Hopefully you can see a little better. Yes, and I'm using crappy Nymo because I don't want to waste my good beading thread on these demos. Isn't that terrible? Come on, needle. I'm coming out of a green check 11. So I'm going to pick up a green check 11. I should have used Japanese, but I couldn't find any in color I wanted to use, so I have these check ones. Skip. Put your needle through. More check 11s. That one's not going on very well. Come on. Got too much space there. That's all right. It'll work out. Come on, focus. The light is terrible in here, so the focus just doesn't want to cooperate very well when the light isn't perfect. I hate winter just for that reason. I can't get light. And we get a tangle, as usual. Of course. I mean, what would my videos be without a tangle or two, right? One more 11. And now I'm starting to go through my 15s. So now that my thread is coming out of a 15, I have to start picking up 15s. Skip the next 15 and put your needle through the next. And again. And again, one more time. And now I'm coming out of the 8s again. So, pick up an 8, go through the next 8, skipping the next 8, go through the next. Still coming out of an 8, pick up another 8, skip the next 11, which can be a little difficult to see, but this is it right here. And this is the one that didn't want to sit where it was supposed to go. Right there. And I'm back in the 11s. So you're going to go up through your up beads now. One more 11 to the up. One more 11 to the up 15, because I'm coming out of an 11. And now I'm coming out of the 15s. I'm going to work 15s. So you continue in this fashion until you get to a length that you can actually slip this off your tube and work without an armature. Because I have 15s right next to my 8s, I want you to see how it looks odd and it climbs up to the 8. The 15s do. I am coming out of a 15. I'd pick up a 15 and I'd put my needle through this one right there. I'd pick up another 15 and put my needle through the next 8 up here. Where did this come from? Nope, sorry, wrong. Let me show you. I'm picking up a 15. I'm putting my needle through the next up 15, which you can't really see, but it would be like skipping a 15 and going through the next. Right there. Pick up another. And I've got another 15 right here in between because it's climbing up. And because this piece of paper is kind of restricting how the beads move, you have to be careful and watch where your beads are going, where they are. And I'm going to add one more 15 because I'm still coming out of one. But this time I'm putting it through the next up 8 right here. So I'm going to work a little bit more, and when I take this off, I'll show you how it gets a little easier to see. Okay. I'm not taking it off because I didn't realize before. This other bead I made, I used my good beading thread for that, which is a lot stiffer, and it holds up a lot better. Nymo is very flexible, and yeah, I'm having a hard time keeping this in a position of viewability if I take it off, so because it keeps collapsing because the thread is so flexible. But so I have it peeking off, just off the edge of my little support here. You can use anything, paper, cardboard, anything, a dowel, anything that'll, fit inside the hole of your work. My thread is coming out of a check 11, so I'm going to keep going around the 11s. Well, that didn't work, did it? That didn't work at all. Let's see if I can get it back on. Well, maybe you can see. Not too bad. Keep working here. But it just collapses because it's so soft, this stuff is. One more 11. Starting my 15s now. I'll show you that climb and how it works itself in so much better after you take it off. Come on. One here. Oh, jeez. Come on, thread. And now I've got to put another 15 in between the 8s, which is just seems impossible, but it's not, because after you take it off, your dowel or your form, it starts pushing itself in, and then you really get your spirals going. After that happens, it just really comes together, and you get a very pronounced ribbing in your work, which makes it so pretty. That's what makes it look so nice. Normally, this is not a pattern I would usually use. I would usually do something like this, where I've got, this one is wrong, but I would have the same size bead on either side of the 8. And you don't have to use rounds. I mean, you can screw around and you can use cubes and big delicas and 6s even. I haven't tried it with a 6, but I bet that would be awesome. I should have tried it that way for this, but oh well. This isn't really a super hard stitch, but it does seem awkward when you first try it, and like anything awesome, it does take a little bit of practice. You know, to be good at anything, it really takes practice. I don't know why people want instant perfection. I'm trying to think of something that anyone is instantly perfect at besides infants, and even they practice at crawling or walking or anything. Talking. Everything takes practice. Whoops. Oh, don't get your sizes mixed up. Back to the 15s now. And keep your work tight, as always. One more. Back through the monster 8. Seems monstrous because it's so big compared to the 15. And there we go. Okay, what happened to my light again? I just hate winter. So we're getting a little bit of that effect now. You can make this as long as you want. I was going to try to make myself a couple of earrings for, a pair of earrings for Christmas. I'm not sure I like it. I don't know. Kind of big. I have to try something smaller. Maybe work just with around a delica and a 15. Delicas you can use delicas for this. They work awesome. I use delicas in here. The red bead is a delica for the smallest bead. I have been told that you can end your work and sew the edges together, and that you can see, where they go. I have not found that to be true. I found that to be extremely difficult to do. See, this is where I ended here, and no, sorry, didn't match up. You'd never see that though, but it's just not true. I really had a hard time finding the edges to put it together. So for this one, I added a clasp. I did a little bit of round peyote to cover the tube. See? Here. added a clasp, and this was a whole lot easier. For me anyway. So, that's that. My long 4-day weekend is at an end. I should have gone to work, but I was so tired. You know, I really resent that I'm going to have to go in there and bust my butt and nobody else does. Screw that. So if I have to spend the night Monday and Tuesday, I'll do that to finish up. I had horrible deadlines, but we'll see. So, let me know if this was, you know, to your satisfaction. If you liked it, it's not too bad. I kind of like it. But it's so, I mean, just moving all over the place. It's so flexible, and this one is nice and stiff because of that thread. The difference in thread. This is the thread I've been using. I'm going to widen this out. This stuff is wonderful. Holy crap, is this stuff great. Comes only in black and white. This is the 0.15 millimeter. It's fabulous and so expensive. It's like 2 or 3 times as much as Fireline, but holy crap, is it worth it. Great stuff. Wildfire. I think this little thingy was like $9, but I had a coupon for, I don't know, 40 or 50% off or something at Michael's. Great thread, but I wish it came in colors like other beading thread instead of just black and white. Alright, have a wonderful week. Not sure what I'll do next. Maybe put that purse together. I'm still working on that. I'm still mulling it over in my mind. I was going to bead the bottom and gusset. Changed my mind. Not going to do that. I don't think I will. Maybe I will. Haven't really decided. So, have a good week. Stay happy. Stay inspired.